Next, we're going to show you how to make Halloween masks out of sticky back plastic and toilet roll tubes.
Just say, what the hell have I got involved in?
But when it was rolled on, it was these perfect little like polka dots of yellow on the thing.
And who uses PO Box numbers anymore anyway?
Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Rhys here from More Than Lifting. This is the More Than Lifting podcast with myself and good/sexy beast friend, Mr. Christopher Thatcher. Do you want to say hi, mate, quickly?
Hello, mate. You're very kind. Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello. We're talking about bodyweight training, calisthenics, gymnastic skills, all that kind of fun stuff. Chris still likes doing weights. I'm working on edging him out of that. And today we're going to be revisiting the 100 push-up challenge, okay? Chris doesn't know this yet, he's finding out now. Because I've just passed the quarter, 25% way, 13 weeks, and it's starting to get a bit interesting. I wanted to talk to you how I'm using it as a progression for both you and myself to hit higher level skills later in the year. Sound good to you, mate?
Yeah, it sounds spot on, mate.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. A little confession first. I'm actually doing videos for the 100 push-up challenge. I started yesterday because this whole time I've been putting these things out. There've been no videos to go with them. I thought, fucking hell, what am I doing? I'll do a little videos. So I'm playing catch up with videos basically, and I'm going to do a video for every week so you can see that not only am I saying it's possible to do these challenges, but I'm actually doing it as well. Don't think I'm just some lazy bastard who don't do the fucking shit he tells everyone else to. Also, so you realise that it doesn't matter what level you're at, 100 push-ups is still quite a lot. It's still quite difficult. I'm just saying this because I've already done the first video and I struggled with it a little bit, so I'm just putting that in, just so, so you know.
Mate, I can 100% concur that 100 push-ups is not an easy thing. How many push-ups can you do straight off, like without stopping?
Probably like 35, 40.
No, I bet you can do more than that. You'd be surprised. I can do that.
If I was in front of someone going, oh, I'm going to beat you by 3 reps, then I probably could, yeah, because I'm one of those people who will just grit my teeth and just not give up until I'm sick or I collapse on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, because what did I do last week? Just because I was in a rush and I just wanted to do something that was kind of core-based, but also a bit of extra pressing work. So just at the end of the session, I just did, as many press-ups as I could. I think this is at the end of a session, so I'd already done a full body workout at this point. So this was, I think I hit about 36 press-ups straight off the bat. So yeah, you'll do, so that was fatigued at the end of a session, so and having not done that. Yeah, no, I reckon you top 50 right now.
If I was fresh, like the thing is, I've been training quite a lot recently, very extreme shit with the rings and all the other stuff. So like my body is just constantly aching at the minute. So and when I did my video, right, I come straight from doing that. I've got my ring set up on my door frame pull-up bar. It's currently lying on my bed because I don't leave my door open all day, obviously, and. So I've been practicing my planche and doing some stability work on that, so that's kind of my excuse.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll let you off.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, all of 2017 I'm doing this thing called the 100 push-up challenge. Each week we take a new variation, we stick a new variation into the mix, and what we're doing is going from very, very super basic, just push-ups, regular old push-ups, taking it right up to super extreme things like one-arm push-ups and stuff like that. Do you want to get into the top-level stuff that I'm aiming for?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this is quite relevant to where we are now, because with the 100 push-up challenge, I'm just hitting this transition where we go from a kind of stability phase of training into a strength-based, push the boundaries kind of phase. And this is like your general performance training model that everyone's kind of taught if you're qualified. Wink. Not that you're not qualified, Chris, but do you know what I mean?
No, it's okay.
Barely. Maintenance, Chris.
Yeah. Shamefully.
Yeah, I'm just going to start calling. Fuck Christ, Thatcher. It's maintenance Chris from now on. I think that's worse, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Maintenance Chris. That is a kick up the arse. That's what that is.
Yeah, and I'll take that.
I'm only messing, man. Anyway, so these high-level push-ups that I'm working to, right, there's 5 of them, because in the challenge we do 5 sets of 20, and we're looking at one-arm push-ups, full-body plyometrics, which we'll get into in a little bit because it's really interesting, handstand push-ups, 90-degree push-ups, which are a level above handstand push-ups, and I'll talk to you about them as well, and the one-arm, oh wait, I've said one-arm push-ups, haven't I? Planche push-ups, whee!
Nice.
Almost doubled up then, snuck you. So they're the ones we're working towards. Can you do any of them, Chris?
So one more time. So
one-arm push-up.
I can off an elevation. I can't do it from the floor. So
okay.
off of a bench or something.
Yeah, what, with your hand on the bench or your feet?
No, yeah, elevating upper body. Yeah, if I do, I do it off. Yeah, I can't do it off the floor, but I can do it with my feet elevated.
Yeah. Handstand push-ups.
Against the wall, yeah.
Okay. 90-degree push-ups. So
feet on the bench. So
no,
not half.
Right. Okay. So a 90-degree push-up is not. It's a bit, let's say it's a bit of like, it's a cloak and dagger exercise. Because you think, 90-degree push-up, that doesn't sound too complicated. What you're doing is going from a handstand down into an elbow lever and then pushing back up.
Right.
So it's actually a very, very difficult exercise.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
What you could probably do though, Chris, is negatives.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you can handstand, and to be honest with you, it actually improves your handstand stability, because what you do is you go from a very static position into a very dynamic one quickly. You get up into your handstand, and then you start bending everything, so you end up loading all your muscles. Right. So actually, you'll probably find it easier.
Cool, okay, I'll give that a crack.
And 1, 2, 3, we've done 3, haven't we? So the next one is full body plyometrics. You could probably do one of these, you just never tried it, I imagine.
So that's just a jump where that's a press into a jump where everything comes off the floor.
A star, like a snow angel in the air, do you know what I mean? Like you just press, and instead of doing clap push-ups, you do full body explosions off the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have tried those, but I'd have a crack at that.
I reckon even maintenance Chris can do them.
Cheers.
Right. I feel like I'm going to be bullying you today, mate. I'm apologising for it now because I don't mean any offence by it.
No, I know. And look, if we took it down the gym today and we loaded up a couple of bars, then I'm sure I could put you to as much shame as you could on a set of rings for me. So it's all relative.
Yeah.
I will
definitely.
I will take it. Because like you said, I do need to kick up the arse. It's. It hasn't been as progressive this year as I would have liked, but that I also know why that is, and so I've made peace with that. So once you kind of come around to letting it go a little bit, then we'll be fine.
Oh, right. Flip the script there. Yeah, and then the last one's planche push-ups, which I can't do them. Can you do them?
No, wouldn't even want to try right now.
Shit is fucking hard.
Yeah.
So at the minute, where I am with all these are super extreme push-up variations. If you haven't realised this already, don't worry, because we're only 13 weeks in, which means that there's another 39 weeks. There's 39 weeks to get to this level, or 38, because that's week 52. You know what I mean?
Loads of time.
Loads of time, plenty of time, double time. Don't worry about it. So this is where I'm going with it. And now we've come out of this kind of complex planking style push-up variations, which aren't particularly more challenging in terms of strength than a regular push-up or like a pike push-up or something like that. What you're doing is just compounding it with core exercises like Spider-Man push-ups and stuff like that. It's kind of where we've been at. Mm-hmm. And now, each week, I'm going to be bringing a new progression in to hit one of these skills. Okay, and that's because it takes a shitload of time to build the strength to do these things, but also there are very specific exercises you can do that are going to help towards these skills. So the whole kind of roadmap that I've created, when was it, like January, is just now we've come out of our stability phase. The strength phase now is all about progressing towards them. So each week I'm going to be bringing a variation. The first variation is going to be for this push-up, then the second variation is going to be for this push-up, and then the next one's for this push-up. So it's not like we're going to be front-loading plyometrics right at the start. what I'm going to do is you'll end up at any one point. If you come in at any week, then you'll have one progression for each of these 5 exercises, or 4, because the handstand and the 90 degree are kind of similar, you know?
Sure.
So yeah, that's the kind of lay of the land now, and that's where we're going. And this is why I wanted to talk to you about it, because these progressions some of them are really subtle, and some of them are blatantly obvious. So like a tuck planche push-up, obviously that's working towards your planche push-up. But something like a Hindu push-up, you're like, what is that actually working towards? And really it's working towards all of them, but in different ways. And I think we've come out of these kind of, there's this point where everywhere on the internet you go, oh yeah, here's 5 crazy push-up variations for you, and they're actually like, one's a Spider-Man push-up, one's a raised push-up, and you're like, fucking hell, these aren't crazy, it's boring. In fact, it's borderline low level, you know what I mean?
Well, I remember the was it 22 push-up challenge last year, which was going viral.
Oh yeah.
And I did that because I saw that as an opportunity for me to actually not just do something for a good cause, you know, raising awareness for PTSD, you know, for veterans who are suffering from, you know, psychological disorders, but also to get into a habit of posting something of real value to my Facebook page every single day. And I decided that I was going to find a great new variation of a press up every day, and it was quite hard to find interesting versions of press ups other than ones you just outlined, you know, trying to find ways of making press ups, you know, interesting over a period of 22 days. That was tough.
It is tough, like, because a lot of the times it's hard to come across like more extreme versions. Like most people have heard of Lelani push-ups, but not a lot of people actually know what a Lelani push-up is.
And sorry to expand on what just to clarify what I mean by tough to find. Yeah, finding really crazy versions, like you say, it's not easy to find, but you can find them. Finding interesting, varied forms of things that most people can do or try for themselves is another thing entirely, rather than just kind of putting something up that's a bit of a look how great I am because I can do a handstand push-up. I actually did one. I did a post with a handstand push-up, but made sure it was quite obvious underneath. I was like, this video is not 22 straight handstand push-ups. This was filmed over, well, I did 22, but I think I did 2 sets of 8 and a set of 6.
Okay.
And with a rest in between. And just then edited the video. But I think I tried to show that I stopped at the end of each one. I can't remember. So
in where you cut it, you've actually got you coming off the wall or something? I
think so, yeah. Or if I didn't, then I certainly made a point in the note that I put with it that this is not 22 straight push-ups. I do not want
one set wink
emoji. I'm not pretending this is me performing at some sort of super optimal level, because that was just not true. And those last couple of reps, even on the 3rd set, were hard. So that was there was hopefully a fair amount of transparency there. So finding things that other people could at least try for themselves that were interesting, but not to the extreme, and certainly not me just showing off what I could do was quite tough.
And I think it's stuff that is accessible for it, so they can believe that they can do it as well. It's like challenging enough, but everyone can still do it, kind of thing. And that is fucking hard, because everyone's at a different level, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, this 52, where I haven't done just 100 push-up challenge, I've done it over 52 weeks, like the entire year, because it gives me time to pull these progressions in and build people up. Like, I recommend everyone start on week 1 if they want to get involved with it, and that's because just doing 5 sets of 20 push-ups in one go, like 10-15 minutes, it's fucking hard shit. Like, most people will struggle to do that.
Yeah.
But if you do that, then next week you'll be able to do it with wide and diamond push-up variations. Then next week you'll be able to bring in pike push-up variations next week. And so each week you're building on it, and it's a continual process. And this is an auxiliary to your training. This isn't like my training program, like 1 year training is just 100 push-ups every week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like additional challenge to really push yourself. And I bring in all these progressions so that anyone can start at 1 and end at 52, or more or less, you know, if they approach it right and if they do it right. But also, like, at one point, it'll get to a point pretty, like in the next kind of couple of months, where if you start here, like, you won't be able to hit the goal because you won't have done all the previous stuff that's required to build the strength to be able to tackle these ones, let alone next week's or next week's or next week's, or, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of hitting that point where I'm like, is there enough time for someone to just come in now and still hit that? Because I want it to be accessible for everyone, but at the same time, like, not everyone's going to be able to do freestanding handstand push-ups, like, let alone 20 of them. You know, it takes work and it takes dedication. And that's what I'm hoping to really show people throughout this year, is that if you can apply yourself towards it and if you're focused, then you can do fucking anything. Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Good philosophy.
And it's going to be fun as well. Like, I'm looking forward to fucking, like, everyone else is on their Christmas holidays at the end of the year, and I'm like, yeah, planche push-ups, handstand push-ups. You know what I mean? It'd just be me. But, yeah. One thing I want to do, though, mate, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot, but I feel like I need to just get it all out.
Go for it, man. I monopolised the last show, so, yeah, go for it. Fill your boots.
So, I really want to do these videos as one take, because I want to show people that it is being done in one go and that I'm not cheating it, because by the time October comes round, we're going to be doing like X push-ups and what are the other ones? Uchimata push-ups. Is it Uchimata or is it the ones where you clap behind your back?
Yeah.
Is that Uchimata?
I don't know if they have a specific name, but yeah, I know the ones you mean.
Listen, I have had so many different push-up names, right, in my head since this year, because I've been researching all these different ones, and mate, everyone has 5 different fucking names. Just decide on one name for a push-up. It only needs to be one name for it. We don't need 6 names for the same movement, you know?
Yeah, it's a good way for people to try and pretend they came up with something by giving it a new name, and it's like, no, that already existed.
This is the beans push-up.
Yeah, if it's a human movement, chances are someone's been doing some form or variation of it for, you know, hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 years. So yeah, it's good. I'm sure there's very few original human movements being found anytime soon. So yeah, I think most people just kind of like to customize these things or do very slight adaptations of something that exists and then give it a whole new name when really it's actually pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. But, you know, it's still quite cool learning all these variations that people have come up with that I haven't imagined. Like, there's this one called an X push-up, which is basically you just spread yourself out in a big X. Do you know what I mean? So your arms are up in front of you, and it's like a snow angel, but on your front, and then you're doing push-ups like in that position, you know what I mean? So you're like... And I think when I first saw it, I was like, fucking hell, why would you do that? It just seems kind of silly. Like, why don't you do like archers or what I call tridents, like a progression? But then I can see them being a progression towards like Lelanis, or I can see them being a progression towards like crucifix push-ups when you're like, it's like a Lelani but in a cross instead of like a handstand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about these push-up videos. Some people might not. A Lelani push-up, guys, is when you're lying on your front, like as if you were in a handstand position, so your arms are straight out in front of you, like above your head, so to speak, and then you're going from there and you're pressing your whole body off the ground from your hands and your feet. Okay, and it doesn't seem like it would work mechanically, because you're like, if I'm laying totally flat on the ground, like, how am I going to push myself off? It'd make me longer. But it does work, and it is really difficult, though. It's really fucking hard. That's why it's named after the guy, Mr. Lelani. I can't remember his first name. What was Lelani's first name?
I have no idea.
The More Than Lifting pop quiz. Neither of us know his name.
Answers on a postcard too.
Yeah. Send your answers to PO Box 6392840. That's not a real address. Don't send anything there.
No. And who uses PO Box numbers anymore anyway?
I know, but I was just thinking back to when I was a kid, you know, like with Blue Peter and that. That's.
Oh no, I got the reference. Don't worry, it's cool.
Okay. Next, we're going to show you how to make Halloween masks out of sticky back plastic and toilet roll tubes.
And drive your parents crazy.
Yeah. How to make shitloads of mess with absolutely nothing.
Yep.
I loved Blue Peter when I was
glory days of children's television.
They were the good old ones, they were. Do you know who I miss most? Mr. Blobby. Where's Mr. Blobby gone?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a big loss for entertainment all round, really, wasn't it? But I think he developed a crack habit.
That explains it. I saw a video, right, when I was like 3 of him, and it was like an actual Mr. Blobby video, right? So it was like a cassette back at VHS back in those days. And like it was him and, is it Noel Edmonds?
Yeah, Noel's house party.
Who was his mate? So
who was his mate?
Yeah, Mr. Blobby's mate,
yep,
Noel Edmonds.
Best mates.
So for some reason he was like sweeping up the leaves in the garden or something, and he's stuck on a big pile in the middle, and Mr. Blobby come running straight through and just knocked them all everywhere. It was hilarious. But he was painting a shed, right, and he had his Blobby paint. This still gets me now. And he was rolling the paint onto the... I can't even say it. He was rolling the paint onto the shed, and when he was rolling it, the spots were coming out. It's impossible. It was just so good. And like as a kid, I realised that this couldn't happen, and it used to just crack me up so much. Like he was rolling it out, and it was like the paint was like pink. If you looked in the paint pot, it was pink with like yellow blodges, which is what Mr. Blobby was, that big pink dude with yellow spots on him.
Yeah.
And he was rolling this paint out, and it was just a mess of like pink and yellow slime. But when it was rolled on, it was these perfect little like polka dots of yellow on the thing all over the place. It was brilliant.
Brilliant. It was quite entertaining watching them, because the original series of that, you might be too young to remember the first time Mr. Blobby was on Noel's house party, but the first series, when no one knew who Mr. Blobby was they'd set it up so it was like celebrities thinking they were filming for a new children's TV show. Oh yeah, yeah. And it was just one big stitch up, but they were, sure that this was a real thing, and they were just kind of playing along, and then it would all go kind of a bit haywire, and you could see the look on their faces to say, "What the hell have I got involved in?" And it was always pretty entertaining. Funny you should say that actually about the painting. Our last day of sixth form at school, so our last day before we left to do our A levels, it was always a tradition at our school that the upper sixth leavers would basically terrorise the school in some way. Oh yeah. So we all dressed up in like army fatigues and went to the school at night, the night before we were due to finish, and painted one of the old buildings. It was admittedly it was due to be demolished sometime in the next year, but painted this large building in Mr. Blobby colours, and a variety of other different stupid things as well. So it was quite a seminal cultural influence back in the day. Did you use Blobby paint? We did. Yeah, it was magic. Yeah, it was amazing how those spots just come out by themselves. It's cool, isn't it? They just come straight out. All you do is roll it on. Yeah, no, it's good fun, good days, and. Yeah, and entertaining if nothing else. Fucking hell. Go on YouTube, try and find that Mr. Blobby paint in the shed thing. But that's got to be it for us, I think, hasn't it, Chris? Yes, it has, mate. Yes. I've got to fly now, unfortunately, but not literally. No trouble. Guys, check back next time. This is where the outro goes. Don't forget to re-record it, Rhys. Love, 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 love. Bye. See ya. Right, guys, that is it then for this week. If you like what you've heard, as always, give us a rating and review on Stitcher or iTunes, your podcast listening app of choice. And hit subscribe. And don't forget to check us out on the socials. Christopher Thatcher, Coach Thatch everywhere, me, More Than Lifting, or Rhys T. Morgan on Snapchat. If you want to get involved with the 100 Push-Up Challenge, just go to morethanlifting.com/100challenge. And if you're looking to get started with calisthenics training in general, then go to morethanlifting.com/28transformation to join the transformation program. Okay, it's a 4-week email delivered program. And that's everything from me. Until next week, have a really good time, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye bye bye.